Superstars, how's it going? This is Coach Wood, and we are locked and loaded with another great episode, you guys, of the Weekday Huddle for you. I am pumped up this week. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel. There's many things you could be doing with your day, but for you to stop on our channel, we really truly appreciate it. A lot of hard work goes into the content that we publish with Before You Go Pro, you guys. So thank you for rocking with us today. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. I am your host, Coach Wood, and this is where we talk football, you guys. We get after it. There's so much to cover. There's so many layers to the game, to the industry, and we want to help serve the athletes, the families, the coaches, and the fans out there. So if that's you, you are definitely in the right spot. Please hit the subscribe button if you do like the content that you are hearing today. And then also check out what we have for you down in the description box. We've got some special resources, some resources that are curated just for you athletes and you families of athletes out there, you guys. So today's topic is a big one. Today's topic is huge because a lot of the athletes who consume our content are trying to get to the next level. They're trying to get to the college level from high school. They're trying to get to the college level from prep school, junior college, what have you. And they want to make the right moves. They want to make the right moves. And one piece, obviously, to the puzzle is the academic side. So today's topic, you guys, is the GPA you need to have. The grade point average you need to have to become bulletproof as much as possible on the academic side during the recruiting process. College football recruiting is business, you guys, and on the business side of things change. Sometimes we have to adjust. Sometimes we have to look at the market. We have to read the tea leaves, and we have to switch up our business practices so that we can still have success. Many of you young athletes have never heard, but your parents have, of Blockbuster. Blockbuster, you used to go, get the video, get the movie, and bring it back home and watch the movie at your house. Blockbuster doesn't exist anymore. Why? Because Netflix, because all of the streaming apps took Amazon, Prime, all that, took Blockbuster out of business. There was a point in time that Blockbuster could have purchased Netflix for, I believe, a little over $1 million. Chose not to purchase Netflix and took them out of business. People are streaming nowadays. Blockbuster didn't read the tea leaves. A lot of young athletes have not fully caught on to how they need to move strategically to get the offers that they would have had back in the day. For one, you're probably not going to have as many offers coming out of high school or junior college that you would have had back in the day, but that's okay because you can only go to one anyway. But how do I construct? How do I deconstruct and work backwards on that offer that I'm looking for? How can I strategically find an angle that's going to put me to the front of the line? That is the bottom line right there, is how do I create my own strategy, because you guys are all individual contractors, that is going to help get me to the front of the line. Your GPA is one of those strategies. And a lot of athletes and families have not fully caught on to it yet. There are tons of kids that want to play Division I football. But guess what? Division I football from high school or junior college is harder than ever before. But there are certain schools that still want to focus on the high school athletes. They're not going to go heavy in the portal like some of these other schools. And the schools that I'm talking about, they require a high GPA. Today, the GPA is the angle, you guys, for you high school athletes that are ballers. You've got some game, but you're not going to have all of the schools that are looking at you that are just the average group of five school, the average Power 4 school. You're not a 5-4 or a high 3-star level recruit, but you do deserve to play Division I football. These are the type of athletes we work with Before You Go Pro, the diamonds in the rough. And one of the things we're looking out for right out of the gates is what is their GPA? Because if we see they've got great film and we see they've got a great GPA, we know we can make their day. We know that we can get them to the level that they really want to play. All right. So that's what it's all about, is finding your angle. And before you go pro, we're looking for the athlete with the high GPA. So do you want to know the score, the core GPA? Now, for those that don't know, the core GPA is all that these universities care about when you're coming out of high school. The core GPA are the classes that are a little bit more difficult. What's the cumulative over your 4 years of being at that high school in the classes that are a little bit more difficult? So I'm talking about your foreign language. I'm talking about your sciences. I'm talking about your English, your writing, your math, all of the ones that require a little bit more work. I'm not talking about home ec. I'm not talking about PE. I'm talking about your core course GPA. And if you don't know what your core course GPA is, you need to research that so that you always have it right off the top of your head. So if you do get a coach that asks you that question, you're ready to go. The core course GPA that makes you bulletproof is the 3.4. The 3.4 GPA, you guys, from what we found with BYGP, once again, core. So you may be actually in that 3.6 range, that 3.7 range, but core, you're 3.4. If you can get into that 3.3, 3.4 core range coming out of high school, you're going to put yourself in a grand position to be able to approach and possibly get the scholarship offer or the PWO offer from a lot of Division I schools that aren't going to go as heavy in the portal. I'm thinking of the Georgetowns of the world. I'm thinking of the Rice universities. I'm thinking of the Furmans, the Samfords. I'm thinking of the UC Davises. If you can get into that 3.3, 3.4 core, then that gives you a shot with a bunch of schools that aren't going to go as heavy in the portal. Now, this wouldn't have helped Coach Wood out of high school because my GPA was probably in that core 2.8 range, but it was a different day and age. It was a different day and age where they had to recruit the kid from high school. They had to go after the kid from junior college. I might not have had the same opportunities. You see the helmet behind me. I played at the University of Colorado. I may not have had the same opportunity coming out today. And I would have been in a little bit of a tough pickle because my GPA wasn't high. So for you young athletes out there, especially the ones that are younger in their high school years, you're a freshman or a sophomore, this is not the time to play academically. Back in my day, you could get off to a slow start, you could pick things up, and you can get off to a great Power 4 school with a 2.8 or a 3.0. You technically can today. But you better be a 5 or a 4-star. Or a highly coveted 3-star. You better be a 5 or a 4-star or a highly coveted 3-star if you're trying to go D1 today and you're below a 3.0. Good luck. So with our athletes, before you go pro, you guys, we are shooting for the young man that is 3.3, 3.4 core or higher. Because then we know we have a strategy that we can work. We have an angle that we can take where we're going to get to the front of the line. We can get to the front of the line because our athletes are probably better athletically and talent-wise than a lot of these high academic schools are recruiting. Because there's some bad boys out there. There's a lot of high school and junior college talent that's getting overlooked. So we want to find those kids that are really talented that, 4 or 5 years prior would have been done by now. And we want to make sure they have good grades and then put them in front of the schools that are looking for the academic kid. But those schools are getting higher level talent kids, the Lehighs, the Columbias, the Dartmouths, the Morehead State. Those schools are getting higher level talent now, you guys. Because a lot of the kids that might have went to San Jose State or Sac State or San Diego State that have good grades are now going to those schools because the opportunities aren't there at San Diego State, Sac State, and San Jose State because of the portal. So this is the angle. This is what we wanted to talk about, you guys, and this is what we strategize with the athletes that we work with is let us find the kid that's 3.3, 3.4 core or higher. Because then they're the bulletproof one. They're the one that we can pitch to any school within the most part and we're in play. They can get accepted, you know. So you may be a hell of a player in San Diego and you're trying to get to San Diego State and San Diego State's considering you, but they end up taking the kid out of the portal at the last minute. Now, if you had a 3.3, 3.4, then maybe we can pitch you to USD, the University of San Diego. Maybe we can pitch you to Cal Poly. We can pitch you to UC Davis, a school that might not go as heavy in the portal. So, you know, we have a lot of athletes that got a hole in their pocket right now. A lot of athletes that would get the scholarship offer to the FCS school or the academic FBS school that would have the PWO opportunity, but they don't have the GPA. They don't have a GPA. We just had a kid get into UC Davis by the skin of his chinny chin chin. He almost lost an opportunity. Thank God he didn't, because he's going to have a great career there. But he almost lost a Division I opportunity because he got off to a slow start in high school and then had to rev up to get back in place for the 3.3, 3.4 core. And they had to pull some strings for him at that point, you guys. So this is very important. Just like you balling out on the field and having your huddle film ready to go is extremely important. The fact that the athletes need to catch on that I need to have a higher GPA today than ever before to strategically put me in position with schools that these other kids can't get into, or that are not going to go as heavy in the portal. Maybe the typical D1 school is 60-40. 60 portal, 60% portal, 40% JC and high school. But the academic D1 school, the Furmans, the Rices, the Stanfords of the world are going to level it out a little bit more. Maybe it's the other way, 60-40 high school, 70-30 high school, high academic school, you know. So what's your strategy? What's your angle? Why go to the Oregon camp? Why go to the Oregon State camp when you know they're going to go heavy in the portal? But if you go to the Rice camp, if you go to the UC Davis camp, if you go to the Vanderbilt camp, if you go to the Georgetown camp, the Marist camp, the Columbia camp, those are going to be camps where they're not going to go as heavy in the portal. And you can stand out. All right. So that is the strategy. We're always going to be bringing you guys things that pertain to you young football players, you families of football players. A lot of you guys are making college camp decisions for the summer. If you've got great grades, go to the academic school. Go to the academic D1. Okay. Now, there are some academic D1s. I mentioned Stanford, and Stanford can be hit or miss, but there are some academic D1s that will go a little bit more portal. A Cal Berkeley will go a little bit more portal than some of these other academic schools. You know, a school like a Valparaiso, all right, which is still D1. So keep that in mind, you guys. Do not have a hole in your pocket. When you got bad grades or when you got subpar grades, when you're under 3.0, you got a hole in your pocket. We can't do as much for you. But when you hit 3.3 or 3.4, you're putting money in your pocket. you're putting opportunities in your pocket. All right. And that's what this is all about, you guys. So hopefully this brings you some value today. Get after it, kick some butt. Make sure if you have any questions or you feel like you need support or you know somebody that needs support getting to the next level, hit us up. Because we work with athletes across the country. It's a labor of love for us. This is my ministry, and we would love to help you as well. So hit that subscribe button, you guys, and check out those resources. And we will definitely see you tomorrow, and we will see you at the top.